Hello everyone, thanks for clicking on today's video. My name is Sissy and I love arts and crafts and sharing my silly thoughts on random things. Today's background video consists of the making of a pair of shorts, this particular pattern being holiday. I know it's late, but I couldn't pass up this footage. Shorts, like today's topic, are one of those articles of clothing that for me don't always fit well and I feel awfully self-conscious in them. Even when I was young and skinny and had decent legs, I would feel self conscious in them. And I was never that girl that wore those shorts that are riding up in the butt crack and are so short the linings of the pockets are poking out. Do you remember when those were so popular they actually made the lining of the pockets in different designs and made them all fancy because they were supposed to be poking out? Yeah, I really hope those aren't a thing anymore. And as far as the riding up goes, I always think to myself when I see anyone in those is, look, I don't care how nice your butt is, aren't you uncomfortable? Even when I was a young 20 something, I didn't understand the trend. And that was when I wanted to show off my butt. You know what I mean? Besides the comfort level, and you guys might think I'm weird, the other thought that crosses my mind is the germ factor. Now, I could be completely in the wrong on this, and this may have as much scientific clout as cooties, but I just think about the bare butt cheeks sitting down on a seat or a bench that literally thousands upon thousands of other butts have sat upon, and I just think, gross. I think that with those Brazilian bikinis people are calling clothing these days. Listen to me, I sound like a 90-year-old grandma. But seriously, though, germs, people, doesn't that bother you? Not to mention the wind chill. Look, I live in a particularly warm climate 99.999% of the year, but you never know, it might get chilly at some point, and with shorts of that short, how are you prepared? Oh, and don't get me started on the waist of those things. When I was younger, it was popular for shorts to not only be super short, but also super low rise, and that was when it was popular to wear cute thongs that it peaked out just right. Remember our queen, Christina Aguilera, when she was a pop starlet? She still be considered that? I feel like she moved beyond that. Anyway, I think all the pop stars made that look popular, but I feel that she was iconic in that style. Now I feel like the shorts are even shorter today, but you have ridiculously high waists. So back to the comfort thing, I'm like, what's the point? So now not only are you going to get germs, but you're also going to get a massive wedgie you have to spend your day limping around trying to pick out discreetly or not, and then have freezing cold legs in the evening? Maybe that's also the grandma in me. I don't know. Either way, I will tell you that the shorts I am making today are none of those things I just ranted about. These shorts are amazing in that they are a decent length, not too short, not too long like a capri or something like that, and have an elastic waist. The best part? Pockets. I hope you enjoy. P.S. You might be watching this video thinking, that sure looks like a shirt at the beginning, doesn't it? It is. I just fell in love with this fabric pattern and had enough fabric left over, so I made a shirt to match the shorts. So cute. Today's topic is a further rant about clothes. Sorry, it's one of those days, specifically about jeans. I've talked about trends before, specifically when scrunchies have come and gone. I feel like clothes, especially, go through waves that are more obvious than other things that come and go. And aside from the fact that the 90s are blaring in my face at the moment, which, quick tangent, I remember a moment when I was a kid shopping in the mall with my mom and she touched something, like a skirt maybe, and sighed. I asked her what was wrong and she goes, "Oh, nothing. I just wore this pretty much exact skirt in high school and it makes me feel old seeing this on the rack again." For context, my mom is not very old. She had me in her very early 20s and she was a teen in the 80s, so her remarking that out loud years ago is quite literally how I feel today. Anyway, I was just saying that in addition to the trends, it seems that some articles of clothing are going to be, let's say, unique, no matter what quote unquote season they're in. Take jeans, for example, the bane of my existence. Jeans are so hard to get to fit just right, whether they are bell bottoms, skinny jeans, high rise, low rise, light wash, dark wash, you name it, it's nearly impossible to find a pair that fits just right. Then I feel like I give up eventually and go, fine, these are on sale and I can get them on and they'll function for what I need them for and then probably never wear them again. I don't know if it's the fabric or the way jeans are made or what. And side note, why do women need the stupid zipper? It's unnecessary and a nuisance, and we look just as dumb as guys when we forget to zip it. Or worse, you're either too big for the pants just have totally worn down, and the zipper just doesn't stay up anymore. I just feel like jeans in particular are an awful piece of clothing that we go, why to? I understand the significance of jeans and the practicality of them in certain situations, but what I don't understand is how they very quickly change depending on the times. You know, a good sturdy pair of jeans that are a denim fabric for certain jobs like farming or working with animals or construction or something like that is really useful and understandably important. What I don't get is why do we have to have so many different styles and different styles that follow major clothing trends? Do you see what I mean? And unless you are working in a role that requires a sturdy pair of pants, are they really so necessary to put an outfit together? I'm looking at you, Brittany and Justin. I remember when I was a kid that jeans went through a lot of phases in what felt like a short amount of time. I remember when I was really little, it was all the rage to wear overalls and have the pants big and baggy. Then bell bottom jeans were a thing, and like almost everything, I feel like society took them to a level of complete and utter ridiculousness. No one needs to wear jeans that are so tight and low rise above and then billow out round at the bottom to the point where you're tripping on your own jeans and the person next to you is getting whacked by them simultaneously. Then, when I became a teenager, the low rise skinny jean came into the picture. This style was especially significant to me because it came out during a period of time that was really influential for me. I feel like when you become a teenager, you're figuring out your own style and identity, and that's why these jeans in particular live rent free in my head. It may not be the best time in a young person's life to figure things out, but it's a significant time, and you learn eventually. I, like most young teens, went through the phase where black was my favorite color and you couldn't make me wear a cute pink dress anymore, mom. But those skinny jeans. I wouldn't say I was a skinny girl, though I wasn't exactly fat either, but man, I wanted those low rise skinny jeans so bad. The ones where you could barely get them on and the whole point of them was to show off your lacy thong underneath. Yep, those. Well, being a good parent, my mother said nope, and that was that. Also, I'm glad I had sensible parents because if I ever see a child's underwear sticking out, especially on someone who is underage but wearing big girl undies, if you know what I mean, it's just disturbing and it feels gross. And I don't know why we as a society allowed that to be a thing. It's just wrong on so many levels. Either way, those jeans were it, and I wanted a pair but couldn't have them. Speaking of going through the baby goth phase, do you remember the rock bands and emo guys were just so hot because they had the long black flat ironed hair, black eyeliner, tattoos and piercings all over the place, and those super tight jeans? Yeah. I had a major crush on the Good Charlotte boys and wanted desperately to look like Avril Lavigne. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, she rocked a more grunge like baggier pair of jeans than the super skinny, and I don't think she was considered goth either. Anyway, those were the early days of my quote unquote style, and I admit I'm kind of glad I grew out of it, though I sometimes think the look is still kind of cool. I could be totally wrong on what constitutes as the goth style, so if I am, I truly apologize to goths everywhere. Young teenage me pretty much believed that anyone or anything who looked like they came newly minted out of Hot Topic was goth, and admittedly, the friends and I in my circle all believed that anyone who our parents didn't particularly approve of had to be cool and different, and therefore, in our minds, goth, emo, you name it. I remember when, like the oversized bell bottoms, skinny jeans became such an exaggerated trend that the tighter and tighter and tighter they were, the cooler you were. I thought it was a joke when I would hear about people not even being able to get their feet into the legs or the jeans being so tight you couldn't take them back off until I was at a sleepover. One time I was staying over at a friend's house. I think we were maybe 14 at the time. And in the morning, I see my friend take out her low rise, dark wash, super duper skinny jeans with exactly the right amount of rips and tears. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, where it was cool to have ripped jeans on purpose. I was allowed one pair one time, and I remember coming home and my dad going, "Why would you pay to have your pants ripped?" Good question, Dad. Good question. Anyway, my friend had the absolute dream pair of jeans. She took them out of the drawer and laid them down on the ground. I looked over confused as she proceeded to sit down on the floor and, like the best contortionist out there, proceeded to practically stand on her head trying to get those pants on. It was amazing. And even at 14 years old, the first thought in my head was, that is way too much work. I will admit to you all, since it makes sense to share secrets with strangers on the internet, right? That I was an early adopter of the elastic waistband. I only sneered at it until I was about 22 because until then, my mother and grandmother both praised the elastic waistband, and I just thought it was the most hideous thing on the planet, and it was only for old people. But I quickly came to the conclusion that stretchy waists are God's gift to humanity, and I haven't strayed away since. But those jeans, man. It reminds me of what we, men and women alike, will do for beauty and for acceptance into society and for indulgence. I feel like jeans are a great example of that. Who cares if they're comfortable, if they fit, if they are what works for your body shape? Don't even get me started on body shape. Again, my friend with the perfect jeans was also perfectly skinny and I envied her. However, as soon as she put those jeans on, a muffin top appeared and I was inwardly flabbergasted. As an extremely self conscious teenager who did everything in her power to hide the pooch, Here was a girl with a quote unquote perfect figure wearing the tightest jeans on the planet, and she was letting it all out, as they say. I shake my head to this day. Don't get me wrong, she still looked great, and I'm definitely not trying to body shame, but it sure made me think then, and it still makes me think now. I guess I just don't understand why a person would willingly wear something that isn't flattering just for the sake of a trend. Of course, jeans aren't the only article of clothing that we have contention with, but I feel like it's definitely up there. I say all this when I know for a fact I've worn some questionable outfits over the years and put on funky looking makeup and colored my hair in unique ways, all for the sake of trends, beauty, and to fit in with others. Am I over exaggerating or do you agree? What other clothing trends do you think are crazy and that we as a people want to be a part of, whether it really fits us or not? I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you again soon.